What's up, historians? I'm Smith McNeill, and this is Echoes of Freedom. Together, we'll travel to America's most iconic places, uncover hidden stories, and bring the past to life. From the voices of everyday heroes to the legends we thought we knew, we'll listen to the echoes of freedom that shaped our nation. So get ready to explore, learn, and celebrate American history, one story at a time. Alright, adventurers, so we're here. Probably wondering what this building is here. And this is actually going to be the headquarters of General Lee right here at the Battle of Gettysburg. We have finally made it to Gettysburg, explore the town a little bit. It's pretty exciting to be back once again. I was here last year, and it's always a pleasure coming here. But this, again, as I mentioned a second ago, this is where General Lee is going to base his operations for the whole Battle of Gettysburg. Now, on day one of the battle, this whole area here is actually under Union control. On July 1st, 162 years ago today, this whole area is under Union control. We're going to walk over this way. I'm just going to kind of show you where things happen. And so, over to my right, over to the right here, we're going to get to that in a moment. But that's all where the battle is going to unfold on day one. If you see behind me, kind of this tall, steeple-ish type thing in the background, that's the cupola, and that's where General Buford and his cavalry is going to station or set up base. General Buford has a cavalry brigade right here in Gettysburg. He's come in actually June 30th, the day before, and he's kind of scoping out the ground. So he's going to use that cupola up there to survey the area and, of course, monitor the battle the day before. He's messaged back to General Reynolds with the 1st Corps asking for assistance of infantry because he knows the Confederates. If we pan the camera over, you're going to see the ridge line right over there, just kind of down the road, if we can see down the road there. I don't know if y'all can see the stoplight for the sun, but just down the road there, we're going to see that the Confederate infantry is coming up. And so, Buford knows that he's going to need backup. And we're going to kind of walk this way as well. But this whole area here, what Buford's going to do, he's going to set up or dismount his cavalry and set up skirmish lines. And so all through this field over here to my right, your left, that you're looking at now, this whole field will be full of dismounted Union cavalry. Buford also has 6 cannons that he has set up right here on this ridge just below the cupola. This is called Seminary Ridge. All right, so Buford's got 6 cannons set up here. And this whole field is going to be full of dismounted cavalry. Now, just over, if you can see the stoplight, it's kind of hard to see off in the distance, there's a second ridge. And over that second ridge is where the 1st Confederate infantry is going to come up. Now, there's a lot of speculation into how they meet here at Gettysburg. From what I've researched and what I believe is Gettysburg was kind of the intended target for Lee. He wanted to kind of fight in this area, but not specifically here. So the regiment actually comes up. They weren't meant to run into any Union opposition. They were actually coming into town to try and find food and shoes because they were barefoot and they were hungry. But what they found when they got here was dismounted Union cavalry all in this field. And their commander was like, well, I'm too stubborn to lose to some dismounted cavalry. We can't let them beat us. So he calls up some reinforcements. Well, about that time, Reynolds is coming in with the 1st Corps, and so he starts deploying infantry into the field, and then more Confederates wind up coming onto the field. The next thing we know, we have a battle untangled. If you watch the Gettysburg movie, he says, next thing I know, I'm tangled with half the Union Army. This was not supposed to happen, at least not here. But it did, and that brings us to the Battle of Gettysburg. Lee decides, well, this is where the battle is going to take place. He starts sending in more and more troops coming over this ridge to fight off the Union dismounted cavalry in the 1st Corps. And eventually what they're going to do throughout the day is they're going to fight all along this ridge where the tree line is back there. There's a little more fighting that's going to happen over to this side of the house, just over here. Kind of, you can't see it from here. But there's some fighting that happens over there and kind of around us. But the Confederates are going to come in and sweep the Union back towards the western part of town, sweep them outside of town, push them through town outside. We're going to see some urban combat, door-to-door warfare through the town of Gettysburg as the Union is pushed back. and they're going to be fought back to the hill where the Union is going to set up on Cemetery Ridge, and the Confederates will be set up right here on Seminary Ridge. So Cemetery and Seminary, two different hills right in the middle, and there's kind of a valley in between. You're going to get to see more on that tomorrow when we're out on the battlefield in those areas. You'll see some later tonight when I talk about day 3 of the battle. But this all takes place. The last thing I want to show you while we're here, if you can see over on this tree line, kind of back there, you can kind of see where the sun is shining on that set of trees and then shadow. There's kind of a little cutout in there. That is called Reynolds Woods. It's called Reynolds Woods now. And that is where General Reynolds, he likes to lead from the front, as any good general during the Civil War would. So he's on his horse, he's leading his men. He says, "Forward, men, for God's sakes, forward." And at that time, he gets shot by a Confederate sharpshooter, falls off his horse, and dies right there in the battlefield. This causes the Union to lose all motivation and morale, and that kind of starts to decline and pushing the Union Army back, because they start getting confused and disorganized, and with the massive number of Confederate soldiers coming in, they decide to fall back to the rest of the Union forces at Cemetery Ridge and Little Round Top and Big Round Top, and start trying to fortify those positions. There's another place on the south side of town, Culp's Hill, where there's fighting that's going to take place. There's fighting all over this place for the next 3 days of battle that take place here. But this is just kind of an overview, rough overview of what happens on day 1 with what you see in front of us. That brings us up to this building right here, which is the headquarters of General Lee, where he is going to command the Army of Northern Virginia for 3 days right here in Gettysburg. I know this video is a little long, but I hope you stuck it out. I hope you enjoyed it. More to come, adventurers. We will see you in just a little bit.